Hello.
Sorry about that earlier, just had to get that sorted.
Don't worry about it, dude. It's fine. So how are you today?
Other than that, mostly fine. Had some ideas towards a deck. See if it will happen.
Seems pretty good. I've sort of made like what, 4-ish perspective things that I might want to look at depending on what we get. It's a small set, so you can kind of assume, oh yeah, I'm probably gonna get like two or three of these. Yeah, especially with the uncommons. It's like, yeah, you should get most of those in a set like this. So I've been thinking, yeah, what do I want to play this time that could be interesting or might, you know, work out okay compared to some of the other stuff that
I do have an idea for a core that I want to use, at least that I can pull with what I've got now.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm just looking to potentially try something different out of this one compared to what I've played, because getting a Haymaker deck immediately is like...
It is what it is.
Fine, yeah, but it's like, that's going to be kind of dull to just play that the whole time, especially because this set does actually give a couple of tools for that. But
Scyther, notably.
Yeah, let's just go into just getting the card list up here myself. Let's just get into that real quick whilst we're here. This set has only got, what, like 16?
I had a look at this earlier and I need a bit of clarification on Clefable.
Right.
If I'm reading this right, it's nuts.
Yeah, so apparently Clefable was like errated or something, but I don't know how it's going to work in TCGOne. Every time that I've played it, it has always been, you know, I never knew about the errating for this here. So it's like, every time that I had seen this, it was like, yeah, 1 energy, copy the attack and just do it. But supposedly it does need to be able to do other, like, do the effects associated with it. Because, yeah, supposedly it was misprinted. So, like, if you copied a flamethrower, it would have to discard a fire still, apparently. I have not actually had experience with it that way around, because I don't think either it didn't do that in the Game Boy game, or I never copied an attack that did that. I don't remember
Played as
which.
written is just nuts.
It is, and it's insane, for sure, but I don't know how that's going to work. At the end of the day,
I have 1 Clefairy, so...
Right, but a 1/1 is enough to work with that. So if I had a Clefairy, I'd probably be jamming Fable in whatever I play this time out, assuming I pull one. It's not a guarantee. So yeah, this set has only got about 64 cards in it, and this, I think it's this set up until Rocket. The rares and holos are actually pretty much the same. There's a couple of exceptions in Rocket, I think, but yeah, there's a rare and a holo version of every one of the like rare and ups in here. The only notable thing for me is that the Electrode is actually mis-artworked on here, like the rare one. The holo one is fine, but the rare one's got the artwork of the base set one, and that's not correct.
Yeah, I was thought that. Hey, is that another chance to get more of those? No.
Unfortunately not. Hey, Chaotic Claw, how you doing? Yeah, no, I should probably tell them about that one as well, but I didn't get... I got like a default reply back after, you know, saying about some of the error stuff before, and they'll take a look at it and whatnot, but didn't get anything beyond that, so I don't know, we'll see. But yeah, so there are, there's 6 in each row, so it's like 12, 16 different rare / holos in here. So that's like half the set, basically, is in the rare and the holo slot. So that's kind of interesting. There's some very good ones in here, though. Like, you've mentioned the Clefable is kind of insane, assuming it plays as we read it. It probably will, though.
Mime is also up there.
Yeah, Mr. Mime is disgusting. Mr. Mime basically prevents you from taking damage so long as that damage is less than... Oh, more than 30 even, or 30 or more. So it can never take more than 20 damage at a time. Yeah, exactly, DT. It's like, little did they know. I mean, the TCG is not my forte for sure, but it's more than fine. Yeah, so this thing is just disgusting. You pair this with Alakazam, and it's like, you never take enough damage off it. Maybe
it also
we'll
has one of the better psychic-based attacks.
Sure. It does more damage the more the opponent has on them. So, yeah, there's definitely some plays around this. It does get hit pretty hard by Confusion though, because at this point in time, Confusion is also a flip check for retreating as well. So, and it would kill itself if it hit itself in weakness.
Would it? Because wouldn't that do more than...
This
30?
power can't be used if Mr. Mime is asleep, confused, or paralyzed. That's why I'm specifically saying Confusion here. Yeah, but it's still like ridiculous at the moment. So, for sure, one of the cards to look out for here. Some of the other ones on here, Kangaskhan is ridiculous as well. It plays better if you've got Scoop Up, which I don't. But still, draw a card for 1 energy, and then it can, if you can eventually get the stuff up, DCE can help it, right?
I remember back in the day liking Nidoqueen a lot, but it's kind of one of those things that you do have to build around.
Yeah, Nidoqueen is funny just because it's got an attack called Boyfriends, and I find that hilarious for some reason. But
it's a pretty strong attack too.
If you can set up multiple stage 2s, which is admittedly very difficult, yeah, it is actually quite strong.
Yeah, the breeder support maybe.
Potentially, yeah. I think you would need like a full playset of Breeder and Trader, because yeah, the Nidoran female for like 2 grass energy can search for another Nido basic and like put it on the bench, either gender. But that's expensive for how much it it takes a lot of setup in an energy removal method, you know. 2 colored energy, kind of rough. Speaking on 2 colored energy though, Pinsir's actually not awful. It's just a bit expensive. Like 2 grass to do 20 plus paralysis is fine. You compare this to Electabuzz and it's pretty unfavorable, but it does hit for 50 and uses like DCE, so you know it's still strong. 1 retreat is better than most of the other basic stuff here as well, except for the next card. Oh boy, what needs to be said about Scyther that hasn't already been said by a million people? It's just good. It's pretty much the best card of the format. For at the very least base fossil, it's probably the best card.
I would drop several cards if I got multiple Scyther.
It's got no retreat cost, so you can use it as a pivot. It's got fighting resistance, so it beats out Hitmonchan real easy. It uses double colorless, so you can hit 30 for 2. It fits any deck whatsoever, and even like its weakness is not bad because it's almost impossible to one-shot.
And God forbid you have a grass deck going.
Sure, if you do actually play some grass energy, which would be better in the next set when you've got energy search to splash it, right? But you know, you could just splash a couple of grass in the next set, and then yeah, Swords Dance is insane because it's so much pressure being put on there, right? Because you just drop a DC on it next turn and you're hitting 60, 70, which one-shots basically everything if you plus power that. So yeah, very, very powerful card. There's no way that we don't play at least like 2 of it if we get it, probably more. Even if you never actually attack with it. Yeah, absolutely. This and Electabuzz are probably like two of the absolute staples of the era. So yeah, I don't know. Then we get Snorlax. Snorlax is fun. You can't poison it. You can't put any status on it, which is kind of fun.
Yeah, and then it has the funny errata text where it doesn't work if it has these status, but how would it get it?
Not in this set. Next set. There's a thing for it. There is a reason why it has that. Is if that ability is disabled somehow, then it could have a status put on it before that.
Oh, Muck.
Yep. Muck is one, and then there's in Team Rocket there's actually a trainer card that disables for like a turn. So
there
yeah,
we go.
There are ways. It's very expensive to use the thing, but it is another sort of stalling wall type thing that also just doesn't get hit by any potential poison strats.
I would say good scoop up fodder, but that energy cost.
The energy cost is very heavy, but yeah, Scoop Up Fodder is pretty fine for it though. We don't have Chansey, neither of us pulled it, right? So, pretty sure. I mean, I didn't pull it. I'd have used it if I got it.
I did not.
Yeah, so I mean, I personally prefer Kangaskhan, but Kangaskhan can get paralyzed, so it doesn't quite have the same inevitability of I am going to hit you at some point here, you know? And then there's some evolution stuff in here as well, like the Vaporeon's kind of whatever. The Flareon is interesting because it is, like the Flamethrower is the same attack as the other fire types, but it costs the colorless more and does 10 more damage. So like DCE is actually usable on this thing for both of its attacks, and that's kind of fun. You can plus power it and hit the magic 70 to one-shot most things, so that's fun. And then I always loved Jolteon. It's expensive, but like 4 coins, 20 per heads is just fun. I don't know, that's probably why I like the Kangaskhan as well. I'd like it more
if... for 40.
Yeah. I'd like it more if it had zero retreat, but it's still pretty strong. And the Eevee has got an attack that stops you from attacking, stops the defending Pokemon from being able to attack if you flip heads. So, like, these have got
one of the more annoying
stuff.
basics as well.
Yeah, so these things have got some disruption going as well. Venomoth
Wigglytuff is pretty good.
Oh yeah, Wigglytuff is the evolution gold standard at the moment. Like everything else we've talked about is all the big basic type stuff. Wigglytuff is the standard for what evolution cards needed to do to be playable at this time. For recolorless energy, up to 60 damage if you fill your bench up. Yeah, 60 for effectively 2 if you play double colorless energy, which you will because you're jamming Scyther everywhere. Yeah, this card is ridiculous. And Do the Wave, indeed, is
one of the better things you can do in this
one of the
format.
better things, yep. Obviously, Mr. Mime kind of blocks it quite often, though, so like you can't just rely on Scyther Wigglytuff because that will get stopped by Mime. So you've got to have some other stuff
Even
as well.
if Mime can't really offensively do much shit turn.
Yeah, but we saw last time, deck out is very much a thing in this format, so you almost did, if I didn't manage to break the final bit. Like, you were down to about 5 cards or something, so yeah. And then the only other one I really want to mention is the Venomoth, just because it's fun. Venomoth actually can change its type to a different type that's in play, other than colorless. So it doesn't do a lot of damage. The idea is it's supposed to hit the weakness off it. If this had an attack that did like 20 to 30 damage, it would have been a lot better, because then you could have been shifting for weakness and it would have been fun, right? But it does have a pretty nasty heads effect on it, right? Like, confusion and poison at the same time is tough.
Nasty.
It's the first double status, I think, that's
in a similar vein. I'd like to mention Parasect.
Yeah. Parasect Paras and Parasect for like 2 grass, they both just auto sleep. But Parasect does do like 30 for 3 colorless as well. So yeah, moving into the uncommon stuff, Parasect is down here. Yep, so that's not too bad. There are quite a few good uncommons in here that are worth talking about. Dodrio is pretty good because retreat aids gives you, for every Dodrio on the bench, you get 1 less retreat cost. So you could just jam a like, you know, 2 free Dodrio into the deck, and you'll have 0 retreat on basically everything. If you have a full play set of these, even the tubby Snorlax can retreat for 0. That would be funny. Yeah, Executor is a fun deck to build around as well, because this can use double colorless too. You flip a coin for every energy that's on it, and you do 20 damage per the heads, so that's kind of neat. The only catch is that Execute is extremely expensive in its attacks. It like 2 different types of colored energy on it, so it's a bit vulnerable before it evolves, but it's still pretty cool.
I like Rhydon, but it's also quite expensive.
Yeah, Rhydon is very expensive, but it does have some good stuff going for it. Gigantic HP, resistance to lightning, so it does resist Electabuzz. Is weak to Scyther, but, you know, can't have everything. And, yeah, it's like 4 fighting energy, right? There's 50 damage to the opponent, 10 to itself, and then it forces the opponent to switch, which is kind of cool. The Lickitung is really interesting, too. Like, it doesn't do a ton of damage, but my god, that HP and the efficiency of the attack as well. It's just Thundershock, right? But it's Thundershock for any energy, and it's got 90 HP. This thing's very hard to disrupt because it's just a single attachment, right? Doesn't matter what energy you put on it, so it's kind of neat. Yep. Rapidash is very annoying if you can get agility going. It's just flip a coin of heads, you can't do anything to me. It's like Gust of Wind or die. It's notable because it's a fire type, I guess, and double colorless can be used on both the Ponyta for 20 damage and the Rapidash here to potentially do 30 on a coin toss, or 20 if you don't get it. So it's decent. Like, it can be an anti-Scyther, right? A plus power and a head split will let Stomp kill it in one hit. So, you know, potentially good.
I like Tauros, but Tauros is kind of risky.
It's risky, sure, yeah. Tauros, I guess I'll bring it up because, yeah, Sight's a bit slow, but it's still worth doing here. So Tauros has that same Stomp attack, and it's for just a double colorless. It actually is pretty good, right? You know, just get the double colorless energy on this thing. You could potentially be doing 30 damage on the first turn. Could actually donk the opponent if they have just like a Mankey or a Diglett or something out. Won't happen to us here, I don't think, but it's still pretty good. And then, as you say, Rampage is dangerous because it can confuse you, but I guess if you've got enough switching cards, or if you're using this lane enough in where it's going to probably die next turn anyway, you're doing big numbers with this thing. This can hit 60, 70 damage if you're just about to die anyway, and for basically 2 attachments if you've got a DCE. That's really good. Yeah, so it's actually, yeah, surprisingly strong. There's a lot of good colorless stuff in the early game here, which makes Hitmonchan a lot more powerful as well, because of course it hits all of these for weakness. So there's a bit of a
good, which makes fighting's good.
There's a bit of the triangle formation in here, right? Because fighting is good against a normal, but psychic is good against the fighting, but the normals are good against the psychics because they resist them, and that's minus 30. You're basically not touching normals with psychics, so you know. Bit of a rock paper scissors going on in that aspect, which is neat. And then we got like just 2 efficient attackers either side of the Tauros here. Seaking and Weepinbell both hit for like 1 energy 10 damage, 2 energy 30 damage. Like Weepinbell's evolution is terrible, so we're not even going to care about that bit. Really, it's just do you want the 2 colored energy cost, but also the first attack can poison, or do you want the more splashable but weak to Electabuzz thing with it. Depends what you're expecting, because like Seaking does hit the fire types if they're gunning after your Scyther. So, you know, it's a bit of a hit and miss sort of situation, but it is still kind of good. The other advantage is like Goldine's got 0 retreat cost, so you can play that for the early game thing there. But Bellsprout has got a call for family attack, so it can get more Bellsprout out the deck, which is actually very, very rare at this stage of the game. The Oddish
for that cheap.
Yeah, the Oddish does the same thing, but for 2 energy. Although, no, it still has to be Oddish that it gets. The same with the Nidoran, except that can be Nidoran female or male. But Vileplume I don't think is anywhere near as good. Like, it has a power, I think on heads it removes a damage counter when you're active or something, which is fine, but on Stage 2, I don't think that's worth setting up. Then Pedal Dance just confuses you all the time, so meh, not really interested.
It's like a trap.
Yeah. So there is that. The Jigglypuff is interesting just because it's got a lot of HP and like, you know, auto sleep instead of the coin toss like the Ghastly was. So it's like your Haunter, I suppose, but on a basic.
Yeah.
And it can also just hit with a DCE too, so that's not too bad. Same with Meowth, although that's got a coin toss to draw a card, which is decent. I think the Persian was okay as well. Like 30 for 3, reduced 10. Yeah. And it's got 0 retreat as a Persian, so that can't be understated in a format like this where, you know, switch into something and then just 0 retreat out. Mankey's got a power that lets you see like prize cards or the top cards of decks and stuff, which is okay, I suppose. But not really worth it for 30 HP. Primeape is fine, but yeah, again, come back for Rocket for a good Mankey. And then I guess it's just Pikachu, really, potentially, if you were to want to play Raichu. It's expensive, but it's one of the very early instances of bench damage coming on in here. 20 damage for 2, but also 10 to one of the opponent's bench, which is
I do like base Rhyhorn.
Yeah, Rhyhorn with Leer is quite good as well. It's the same sort of idea as the Eevee. It's just, like, it's really fat. Yeah.
It's fat, it's got disruption, it's got a decent attack that's not awful to get onto it.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, the Rhyhorn isn't too bad either. And then I think the only trainer in this set, the only one even that we can talk about is Pokeball. What can be said about this thing? We don't have a lot of Pokemon Trader, if any. Like, I have one, so we could maybe play it because of that, if we were trying to search out evolution stuff, because our draw cards are not necessarily all optimal here. But my god, is this painful to play, because it needs to flip heads in order to work. So...
50-50 chance you get it or you don't.
Yep. But if you do get it,
or in your case, you get it.
Yeah, we'll see. I think I used all my lockup last time round, but we'll see.
We'll see.
Yeah, I mean, you could just flip heads every time and just get to search out any Pokemon that you want. Or it could be a completely dead card, and in the format we're in at the moment, where we don't necessarily have all the Oaks and whatnot, that's dangerous. However, in the absence of like Pokemon Trader being a mainstay, because we don't have enough of them, if you're gonna play a heavy evolution line, you might want to try it. Begrudgingly, but you might want to try it.
It's there.
Yep. Alright, so that's the set. Not a lot in this one, but a lot of it is pretty good.
Quality over quantity.
Yeah, so we do still have 36 packs, like every box here. This was, like, every single set is a 36 pack box, so doesn't matter how many cards are in the actual set, that is what we open. So if you're ready, buddy, let's get to it, huh?
Yeah, let's get this started.
Alright, so I will deafen up just now then, and once we have the decks that we want to play, once we have the deck set, we'll go in for the match. So, best of luck! Let's see what we're playing out of this one. And we are deafened up. Alright, so 36 packs all set up here. Let's go in with the Lickitung straight away. Venomoth, as I said, is interesting. It does also have Zero Retreat, but it doesn't do enough damage. It's not really what I want to be going for here. Taurus is fine. Pinsir I did want one of. Weepinbell is the thing I actually want here. I kind of want to play like Weepinbell Rapidash today. I think that would be different compared to what I played before, and it also kind of deals with Scyther, whilst also having an efficient attacker in Weepinbell. Any Scyther that we pick up can also then use Swords Dance, which would be pretty good. Potentially Weepinbell Wigglytuff would be the other way around here, so we get a Vileplume, it's kind of whatever. This thing will always confuse itself if you use its attack. Like, it flips 3 coins, as 40 per heads is huge, but it then confuses every time. You either need a bunch of full heals or a ton of switches, and it's difficult to build a stage 2 with that in mind. Scyther in pack 4 is super good. Also, the Bellsprout, we should get a playset of like every common in this set at bare minimum, because there really just aren't that many of them. It's mostly the uncommons that we need to look at here. Exeggutor is another potential line that we could play into. The Execute does take like 2 grass energy to do Leech Seed, which is annoying, but the Exeggutor, if you can get enough evolutions out, is great. I just don't think we're going to be that reliable in getting both basic and evolution out here. Flareon is also interesting. Eevee as a concept is not bad here, because you could play Flareon to out Scyther, but then also just main Jolteon, right? And I could maintain my Electabuzz core, which would be kind of cool. So, like, that's also a potential play here. Shiny Pinsir. Second Weepinbell is super good. Rapidash here as well. I did only get 3 Ponyta, despite it being a common, so we'd only be able to play 3 at most, but honestly, 4-4 Weepinbell, 3-3 Rapidash is like 14 Pokemon. Then we jam, like, what, a couple of Scyther and maybe a Lickitung in there or something? I don't know. It's, there's a lot of Pokemon involved at that point. Snorlax is pretty good. Again, probably won't play it, to be honest, but it's definitely worth looking at. Jolteon is nice. Pin Missile can just do a lot of damage if you have reasonable on the coin tosses, so that's fun. Taurus is also potentially worth jamming in, depending on what you're playing. Second Flareon, okay, it's not too bad. Let's keep on going. Venomoth, whatever. The Dodrios are worth getting too. Next set, I might play Dodrio Dragonite, depending on what we have. Pidgeot's not super worth talking about, with the exception of it can disrupt things quite a lot, because Hurricane, if it doesn't kill the opponent, will force them back into hand. But it's tough to justify. Probably just not really worth it. Victory Bell is just not worth going into over Weeping Bell because it actively does less damage. It does prevent retreating on a coin toss, but it needed to do that natively for it to actually be worth even considering. 80 HP stage 2 just not worth any play here. Nothing else too fancy, more Executor, more Vileplume, kind of whatever. Let's see. There's our first Mr. Mime. Mr. Mime is another potential option to go for here. Again, it stops anything that's over 20 damage from affecting it, which is kind of obnoxious. Another Flareon. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I think that's our first Wigglytuff. So we've got like one Scyther, one Wigglytuff at the moment. I'm not necessarily planning on playing Wigglytuff this time round, but like if I got a playset of them, I'd hardly say no, right? Jolteon is fine. This is the first instance of the Electrode, also another Weeping Bell. This is good. I really do want to play this. So the Electrode, if you can somehow get free lightning on this thing, it only does 20 damage, which seems really bad, right? But if the opponent isn't a colorless Pokemon, it does 20 damage to every other Pokemon in play that's the same type as it. So against mono-type stuff, or against opponents that are jamming like, I don't know, 3 Scyther on their bench or whatever, you could potentially do a lot of good damage with that. Lots of spread. It's also 90 HP on the stage 1 is absurd, actually. Most Pokemon don't get to that kind of thing, but, you know, only sort of okay. Clefable's the one I didn't want to see. There's the 4th Weeping Bell, which is really good. Clefable I didn't want to see because I don't have the Clefairy at the moment, but I guess it's okay looking ahead to, like, Neo. It's going to be quite a while before we get there, but I could maybe play it in the Neo set when Clefairy comes out there as well. So, I guess it's fine. Venomoth, yeah, whatever, doesn't matter too much. Pidgeot, that's okay, we did get the Rapidash. The Butterfree, unfortunately, has just got a little bit too high of an energy cost. Mega Drain is a really good attack if you can get it off, but 4 Grass is too heavy. First Kangaskhan, I'll probably jam this in as well. We need more Scyther, I think is the main thing here. I've only pulled the 1 so far, and we've only got like 10 packs left to go. Vaporeon is kind of interesting. I don't think it's good enough right now. I don't think there's enough fire in the format to really make it work, so of course we just get the second one straight away. We will rotate when we get to the actual rotations, yeah. This is not going to be, it's not going to be base set forever, right? Nothing really too fancy out of there. Second Mr. Mime. Okay. Again, probably not playing it this time round, but yeah, when modified first arrives, as you will. There's another Venomoth, unfortunately. Second Wigglytuff. I'd need 3 of them to make the deck, I think. So, and there we go. Okay, we've got the Wigglytuff that I could play. Only 1 Scyther, though. Another Clefable. Pinsir is close. And another Clefable. Okay, only the 1 Scyther is unfortunate. It would have been really nice to have actually picked up a little bit more than that. But unfortunately, we can't always get what we want. So that's fine. I did get tons of them, tons of the stuff last time round. I think it'll be okay with just the 1 like Scyther here. I got 15 Bellsprout. That's kind of funny. Alright, so you can, I believe, search by set. This should only have jungle cards now. Yep. So that's pretty good. It doesn't delineate, like Rare and Hollow are technically different. I may well condense these later on, but for now it doesn't matter. So I did get the 1 Kangaskhan. You can sort by name. We'll do it. I guess we'll do it that way. So we do have the 3 Wigglytuff. I've got like 10 Weeping Bell. Damn. I actually have had drafts of this where I've only picked up 2 Weeping Bell. So I'm happy to have that. I think that's what I'm going to play this time. Weeping Bell Wigglytuff actually seems like it'd be pretty good, because the Bellsprout gets more Bellsprout onto the bench. So the Wigglytuff needs more Pokemon benched, right? So Weeping Bell just does that by, like, the Bellsprout even just does that. So I think that might actually be the play, is like Bellsprout, Weeping Bell. Because that would be interesting. Then maybe like the Tauros, Kangaskhan. I've got like, yeah, just 1 Scyther. So it's like Tauros, Kangaskhan, 1 Scyther, 1 or 2 Lickitung. Or I probably should play the Pinsir actually. If I'm going to be playing DCE anyway, which is where Tauros, Scyther stuff comes in, probably should play a Pinsir. if I can jam it in. The alternative is that I play the Rapidash, because if I expect that there's going to be a lot of Scyther on Psy's side, then I should probably play the Rapidash so that I can hit that for weakness, right? And play like Weeping Bell Rapidash maybe? There's a lot of colorless stuff here. I'm curious though, because I think he might not want to play too much of the colorless stuff because I have 3 Hitmonchan. So I think he might actually not want to play Wigglytuff just because of that. But Hitmonchan is really good because it can hit like Mr. Mime, right? Even though it does get hit for weakness as well with it, it's like you could just jab it and get it down in 2 shots. The Eevees are also a potential play because I did get enough Jolteon. And yeah, like 15 Bellsprout. We're fine on the Bellsprout count. I didn't mention Fearow before because it's a bit too expensive, but it is like 0 retreat on all of both its forms, and it's like 20 damage for 3 energy, and it's agility, right? So flip heads, it doesn't matter, it doesn't take anything next turn, which is okay, it's just very expensive. Okay, right, let me bring this, let me try and bring this out if I can. There we go. So, as you can see, I did actually set up quite a few decks beforehand. All of these were with the assumption I was going to get 2 Scyther, however. So I am going to have to bring that down. So I had one with Weeping Bell Electabuzz. Because I was just thinking, okay, straight Weeping Bell is probably pretty decent. Or I could, out of this one, I don't think I just went with Electabuzz instead of Lickitung and stuff here. But I was thinking, these are all like cheap, efficient attacks, right? The double colorless was there because I had Scyther and Taurus. But, I mean, I could just go like the -1 Scyther and then just put Pinsir in, right? And we could do that. Like, this is not too bad of an option. There's plenty of grass energy in here. We've got the couple of Gust. I may need more Gust of Wind though, as the thing. Like, I might need more Gust this round, in case of Mr. Mime. But Mr. Mime doesn't do super good against like the Pinsir, Taurus if it flips Tails, or even if I just use Rampage with no damage, Taurus can actually hit it. I think Psy only had 1 Hitmonchan, so I don't think I have to worry quite so much about the colorless types here. Like, me getting hit for weakness. So like, this is not unreasonable. There's a lot of efficient hits here. I did take out I actually took out 2 of the super energy removals in here because I was like, I don't really want to remove my own energy in this deck. Right, but then it's easy enough to say, okay, you've got 2 energy set up, just hit for 30 every turn, right? So I probably should have more removal in here. It's just it's very hard to fit everything you want. Because I want more switch because of Lickitung. I need to keep the energy count pretty high, although I did put a second retrieval in, so I could probably cut one of the lightning. It's just without energy search, it's a bit rough, you know? Yeah, I kind of want to put the Lickitung in as well. I have 3 copies of switch, so it's, you know, like as a stall-based option. I kind of want Lickitung in general as a thing, but I'll quickly show. Most of the decks are very similar just because of the Pokemon, like the trainer counts and stuff we've got right now. We don't get new trainers in here basically, so it's not much to show. But the Wigglytuff deck I was setting up was looking pretty much as what I've got. Just with the Scyther count, I'll have to cut that by 1, but then I can put Kangaskhan instead of Scyther, and that'll be fine. So this is just basically the Haymaker I had last time round, but with Wigglytuff in here and Lickitung. Still with the super removals, obviously more DCE in it this time. So like this is an option. I've been wanting, I would like to go to 2 retrievals, but I don't think it's that necessary in this one. But yeah, we would need to cut the Scyther. Again, probably just Kangaskhan would be the straight replacement here. I like the idea of having a Kangaskhan for setup stuff. But I think maybe what I actually would want to do I can show some of the other stuff too. Like Rapidash was just going to be a straight fire and fighting deck without the Electabuzz, because I was thinking this is anti-colorless, right? The Rapidash is meant to counter the Scythers and any other stuff that way, and then it's just, you know, Hitmonchan can deal with the fighting weak stuff, and potentially Mr. Mime, because Rapidash, like Ponyta, can hit Mr. Mime with Smash Kick, but Rapidash doesn't always hit it. It's on a coin toss, so that's a bit lame. But again, 2 Scyther, one of those would have to come out here. I've already got the Kangaskhan in this deck, so I don't know exactly how I'd set that up. I mean, again, most of this stuff is the same idea, just with the different Pokemon lines. Like for the Eevee one, it's like, what, 3 Eevee, 2 Jolteon, 1 Flareon. I would probably not up the Flareon count, to be honest. I could just play this, again, -1 Scyther, put in either the Kangaskhan or Tauros. Tauros would be more likely, I think, because it just hits for DCE. And then I was trying to build, like, an Exeggutor. It was Exeggutor just Rapidash because it can use the DCE, right? I don't think I'm actually going to play Exeggutor, though. I think Exeggutor would be more fun if I had something like Venusaur as well, but I don't. So, yeah, I kind of want to see. I mean, Sai has DM'd me saying he's ready, so I kind of want to see if would it be feasible to jam in like Wigglytuff in here. It might be. If I take out the Pinsir, cut Electabuzz down at least 1. I mean, what is Electabuzz even hitting here? It does need a high basic count, but that's easy done. The idea is that Bellsprout can search for more basics. That's kind of what I'm looking at. I can get more basics out with that. So if I go the 3 Tough, I think I would probably cut 1 of the Weeping Bell down here. And then 3, 4 Jigglypuff. I do need to cut more cards out in order to make this work, but probably the 4 Jigglypuff just to make sure, right? So, well, we got 19 Pokemon in here at the moment. 13 of them are basics. Probably don't want to go much below that. So I think it's like cut energy and cut trainers from here. If I have 2 retrieval, then I can probably play with 16 energy. Although I do need the double colorless, so I'm gonna have to go down a bit further on that. I mean, 17 energy does still seem kind of fine. I mean, I have the Pokeballs in here because I wanted to search for evolutions, but I think they're gonna have to go. And then... See, I don't really want to cut on the Gust or the Switch here, because Paralysis is, like, really annoying. And Gust of Wind could potentially get me away from... it's tough. I need to cut 2 cards. Super Energy Removal is a difficult one to cut, but it might be worth it. Just because I don't want to remove my own energy in this deck. And if I'm removing double colorless most of the time, then that's going to be a decent hit anyway. I think... This is probably a mistake, but I'm going to try without the super removal, because I don't think this deck wants to focus on that kind of thing. I do kind of still want to keep the 4 removals, though. Because they're costless, which is stupid. Like, why are they costless? You know, why the hell are they costless? I don't know. But they are, and so I'm like, I kind of don't want to cut that. It's between the Tauros and, like, a Jigglypuff, I think. Because I think everything else I need to keep as it is. This is risky, but I'm going to cut the Tauros. And I guess I will just call it Wiggly because I am very creative, clearly. Yeah, all right. Let's go with this. Well, that didn't take us too long. That didn't take us too long in the slightest.
No, I think I did fairly well.
Yeah, I got what I wanted. Whether or not what I wanted, well, for the most part anyway, whether or not what I wanted is going to win the game is a different story, but I pretty much got what I was looking for. So,
I didn't get everything I wanted, but I got stuff.
Sure. I think it's hard to get everything that you want out of these, but even with a smaller set like this. But let's just see how it goes. I'm actually really interested because this is a bit different from what I was looking at before. So your opponent will go first. There you go. Oh, there's the Taurus. Okay, I thought you might be a little bit more worried about playing that just because of the fact if I had what's his face, like free Hitmonchan, but
I think I have enough in here that counters Hitmonchan.
Okay. Well, I guess the Psychic, if that's still being in here, that makes sense. I'm going somewhere entirely different with this one, so we'll see. So we're going to attach to the Bellsprout, and we yeah, viewing the cards. Okay, we are going to call for family. Grab ourselves out another Bellsprout.
One.
There's the Wigglytuff. Yeah. Oh, the Jigglypuff coming in even. Energy removal. That's fine. It's not the end of the world. I mean, no attack coming off of that at least. So no more energy in hand, huh? All right. Well, we're gonna play Built. We're gonna grab ourselves the 2. And then
It's more to stop it from retreating.
that's fair. That's fair. I think. How do we want to go about this? I think I'm just going to attach, and I'm gonna call for family again. We're gonna get another Bellsprout out.
It's a lot of fun.
There's a lot of them. Okay, am I just not seeing everything in the dive? No. Right, that makes sense. Okay.
Prize pool.
Probably in the prize pool, yeah. I do have one, but I was thinking, wait a minute. Like, I thought there might be more, but no. That makes sense. Ooh, gust of wind. On the base one, okay. That's fair.
See if
Ooh, okay. Oh, no head split though. That's curious that you would leave me with the energy in play then, I guess. Down to 1 card in hand. Sheesh. Alright, well... You can right-click... Okay. I was gonna say, it's like, wait, I think I know which one's coming up here, but it's like, I didn't actually know which one had the energy for a sec. Because it would be pretty stupid to evolve a one that doesn't have energy, you know? Right, we're gonna put in a Buzz, gonna put energy there, and... end at that, I guess. Bill's a pretty good top deck. There's the Jinx, as you say, potential anti-Hitmonchan with it there. We did talk about the RPS of like colorless fighting, etc., etc. So,
Oh, that's a good prize.
Alright, let's just put Electabuzz out.
Sounds like a plan.
Yeah, it seems alright. It is going to take a lot of damage here, though. Like, no matter what, I'd be taking 60 here? Whether it's, like, 50 from you and 10 from myself, or otherwise. But honestly, I think I kind of need to just hit this thing. Okay, it did get the head, so at least I don't hit myself with it here. There's Clefable, that's scary. And no... Okay. I was really kind of worried that I was going to get hit with the energy.
Terrible.
Yeah. Alright, let's put a lightning on that buzz. Yeah, we're fine on that. And then Thunder Punch. Looks like I got the second heads on that, dang. Alright. Jinx coming in. Let's see what it can do. Energy Retrieval, alright. Yeah, you had 2 Psychics, so makes sense. So what do we discard? Lightning Energy, okay. So Taurus again coming down. Yeah, switch into Electabuzz seems reasonable here. Oh! No lightning in hand though, yikes. Okay.
Yeah, I'm at.
Well, let's go after the energy, I suppose. We'll put a second grass on the Weeping Bell and Thunder Punch. Wow. Okay, yeah, I see what you mean about the Koita. I usually don't get luck like this. I'll just say that now. Like, I am normally really bad with luck in like most circumstances, but apparently this is not one of them.
Can you use the metronome to move the same turn that you copy it? I assume not.
Yeah, that's the whole idea of it. Is the move just gets played like straight away. Okay, so I think the safe option here is probably to play Switch into Weeping Bell here, so that there's no self-damage coming in. Also, it removes the weaken thing right here, because I can just hit for the 30. I can take the prize with a Razor Leaf, and then Clefable doesn't it still hits me for reasonable damage here, but it doesn't completely.
I'm just getting Pokemon cards.
Yeah, it doesn't completely destroy me here with the Razor Leaf back. So I think that's the right play. Alright, so we're gonna go with the Bill. I'm gonna trader away a Scyther for my own Jigglypuff here. So we're gonna get that down. Yeah, sure, we'll DCE the Jigglypuff and Razor Leaf. Now, if you've got a plus power, you can just KO me with this here, but that's a sacrifice I am willing to make. Considering it's a 2-card hand, I'm like, seems pretty alright here.
And I'm just not getting the cards that I need.
Ah, so you did just go for the Razor Leaf, okay. Well, I have a plus power in hand, so I guess we'll go with that. We'll evolve to the Wigglytuff and Razor Leaf for knockout. 30 for 2 is the mantra of the deck at the moment, and it seems to be doing alright. Oh, nothing at all. Yikes.
Yeah, I'm just getting starved here.
Yeah. What do I even want to do? I mean, I guess I could just put another Bellsprout down and just Razor Leaf. I've already got 2 backup attackers set up and one is a single energy away, so I guess I'm not really in any immediate life or death situation here, so...
Unless I get something good, you're not gonna be.
Yeah, so we'll attach to the Wigglytuff, get that set up, and then Razor Leaf for the knockout. I mean, at least Weeping Bell can be taken down here, but that's small penance for it, really. Alright, Wiggles, get out there.
Oh boy.
Yep, we are going to Comp Search. Discard tool. I probably shouldn't have discarded both grass actually, but it's fine. Nah, they'll be okay, because we'll get another Jigglypuff down. DC the Jiggles, plus power the active, do the wave for 70. The magic number. Yeah, that's the punish, is removal, but okay, well, let's see what we can do about it. We use Bill, jeez, that's lucky. But do I want to use that? Okay, this is a super weird spot. Because I've got like two diverging lines to play around here. I'm feeling like it's probably better just to ditch the removal here to get a couple of energy back. Yeah, we'll attach because I have Oak as my last card. So part of me was thinking, oh, if I play the energy removal, then I could potentially just Oak and get rid of, you know, what I had. But I have discarded quite a few energy at this point, so it's like I kind of want to get an attachment, like guaranteed here. So that seemed better. And then I suppose we'll just switch into this Buzz and Thunder Punch. Wow, Jesus, hell, I have not missed a Thunder Punch this round. Yikes. Super removal is kind of annoying. Yep. That's okay. I think we're still in a reasonable enough spot here. Lightning to the Buzz. Okay. Well, let's just play this out as much as I can. So we'll attach Lightning to the active. Might as well energy remove just to be sure on that. Professor Oak on the hand. That should do it, right? Yeah, that should do it. We've got Comp Search. We'll pitch the other two removal. For Item Finder, because that can pitch two. I had like 3 different ways of doing this, I think. We'll get the Item Finder for the plus power, jam the plus power, and Thunder Shot for knockout.
Yep, that's it. I got none of my draw cards.
Yeah, that it's tough. Alright, that's game 1 though. Rematching on this, I'm assuming. They're still doing the best of 3? Yep. Okay. So yeah, I went with a slightly different approach. I wasn't initially going to play Wigglytuff because I wasn't pulling them, and then it was like, I think I ended up getting 2 in the last 4 packs or something, or close to that. So, okay, I will go first. Well, let's see how far we get with this one then. We're gonna bill, and we're gonna bill.
Oh dear.
You would think that would do more.
You can do enough, depending on what you've gotten.
Yeah, I'm not too happy about it, but I'm going to attach the DCE. I'm not going to.
Speaking of, I have 3 and I haven't seen 1 yet.
Yeah, I do have 4. I did manage to pull that last time. Yeah, I'm not happy about it, but I'm just going to pound. This is going to get punished with removal immediately, but there's not much else I can really do with it, I don't think. Psychic to Tauros. Shit, okay, sorry, dude.
Can't punish you with what I don't have.
Sorry, dude. Double plus power is going to get the knockout then. Damn. That feels bad. I almost want to just... That's terrible because it's like you didn't get any setup with it. I almost want to just say go again for the
Do we want to go again? Because that was a little ridiculous.
That was really silly, and that's kind of why I'm like, yeah, I kind of want to just go again off of that rather than leaving it on that game, because that feels really anticlimactic. I had 1 plus power in hand, and I top decked the second one, and I was like, well, shit, this is just what I'm gonna do, you know?
That would do it.
Yeah. Yeah, no, if you're... Unless you want to just do the next set and just, like, pretend this didn't happen, I'm fine with rematching this one.
I'm fine with rematching, it's fine.
Yeah, I think it'd probably be better. Yeah, this isn't even the Donking Jigglypuff. Oh, both hands had to draw mulligans, okay. Wow, all energy, 2 plus power. Seems good. Right. Okay, apparently I'm just going first at the moment. Fair enough. Man. That's intimidating presence there. That's what's better than 170 HP Pokemon is 2 of them, right? We're just gonna attach and just gonna Thundershock. And then Flip Tails this time. There you go, I can Flip Tails, it is possible.
It's a miracle.
It is a miracle, yeah. And that's
Oh look,
the
I can flip heads.
There you go, yep, there you go. Alright, so we're just gonna remove that. Trade away the Wigglytuff. I guess I should grab Scyther, place that down, attach to the Scyther, and I can't attack, so we'll just enter. Ooh, retrieval on turn 1 with turn 2 with just 1 energy this time. Okay. That kind of indicates a little bit about the hand then, potentially, doesn't it? It's like, maybe just no energy there. Oh, removal. Okay, that is going on the lightning. I was like, yeah, where's that gonna go? Okay. Oh, Bellsprout. I do have a lightning, so let's go for the Thundershock. Get the tails. Alright. We got one shot behind, unfortunately, but oh, plus power and heads. Get the knockout. That's ouch. Jeez. Alright, well, let's show how good Scyther can be, I guess. We'll slash for 30. Alright, energy on the Jinx. And wow, 40 on the Scyther as well. Jeez, oh. Okay, yeah, this is getting scary, but at least it wasn't energy removed, so I can just slash. Yep. Ooh, okay. 2 energy already. Ooh, don't like this. Meditate is just a KO no matter what happens this turn. 10 damage on that. This seems kinda bad, but we're just gonna have to hit for 30 and hope. Yep, there it is. It's the knockout there, so... Oh boy, okay.
Well, at least you can get your friends out.
I can. I'm not sure how I'm winning this one.
Well, at least it's not a complete just...
No. I'm just trying to work out. It's like how am I actually going to win this one at the moment? I think there is a way, but it's not pretty. I guess we're just going to hit for 10 this time. Like, I'm pretty sure double plus power isn't coming out here, so I'd be almost disappointed if there was. Like, Item Finder is good. And you just had one in hand as well. Alright, never mind. There we go. My hand was double 2 DC Wigglytuff plus power, so what am I gonna do? You know?
At least I got one.
You did! So there we go. That's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, there really wasn't any other way that I could feasibly do that. It's like, yeah, what honestly am I gonna do from that position? It's like, I'm 40 HP when your attack does 20 base is pretty reasonable to survive on. So, you know, it's like, if you've got it, you've got it.
I just had the item retrieval, so...
Yeah, and, I mean, it's fine. This is what happens when you play, like, the Evolution Line deck stuff, though, is you can brick on it. Because, I mean, I traded away that Wigglytuff in the
Even with the basics like I did, you
Mm-hmm.
can still brick on the energy and trainers.
Yeah, you can. Alright, so, overall, that is still, well, it's still 2-1, I guess, regardless of the other thing with it, but...
That one was just a, hey, that was really silly.
Winning with just 1 turn against it is kind of lame, so I was like, I think it's fine if we could do another. But, yeah, it is still data on the side. So, let's go over some of the stuff with the set then. I only pulled 1 Scyther, which is unfortunate.
Okay, I got multiple.
Yeah, so I was a little bit sad. I was going to play probably 2, maybe 3, but I was at least hoping to play 2, and I just only got the 1, so it's kind of whatever. I did get 3 Wigglytuff in the end, so I ended up being able to play what I wanted out of that. I got like 10 Weeping Bell this time round. I have actually had drafts where I pulled 2 of them out of 36. It is an uncommon, but you know, that was kind of not the problem this time. Weepinbell's just cool. Like, it might not be the greatest thing out there, but it is cool. So I was like, I kind of want to just play that. It was between that and Seaking, and I was like, no, Seaking's weak to lightning. I can't play that.
This is definitely a place to experiment.
Yes. Because I think next set is going to be pretty difficult that way with Muck involved. So this one's definitely fun to get at least some of the stuff out. I did get like a playset of the Venomoth, but I didn't end up wanting to play it because it's too expensive for too little, you know. Venonat's kind of cool because Stun Spore is good, but, you know, you could justify that by saying, well, Caterpie is the same, right? So, you know, it's not that amazing. I did get the playset of Tauros just. I got 22 Spearow, apparently. That's kind of funny. I only got 2 Seaking, actually. That's kind of funny that I mentioned the last time I got like 2 Weepinbell in a testing in this. This time, you know, uncommon, just 2 Seaking. So, rip. But it's fine, because again, it's probably not the best one there.
There's also the card draft.
The which bit, sorry?
There's the card draft for anyone in the chat.
Oh, right, yeah, you're on my Discord, you're playing the stuff with it. Okay. Good to know.
Deck's also in there for when you need to look later.
Nice. So I did get enough Rapidash. I only pulled 3 Ponyta out of the base set, but like I had more than enough Rapidash. That was one of my considerations for this round. I was going to play like Rapidash Hitmonchan as with the colorless stuff like Lickitung and whatnot as the other mainstays, because Rapidash beats up Scyther.
I got 8 Rapidash, so...
Nice. Yeah, no, Rapidash is not a bad one because it can use double colorless and it can hit Scyther for weakness. So like in a very heavy Scyther setup, that would be a pretty good one to have. So I
tried to have as much attackers using colorless as possible.
Yeah. Yeah, which is where like the Hitmonchan would have been an interesting one to have in with that. Because, you know, hitting all the fighting type stuff, there was quite a lot of it.
Yeah.
A lot of the fighting weakness still in there, so... But I didn't play it at all this time round, because we're not in the format with Energy Search. That's next round. I don't know if you want to do the next round today as well, but that's the next one.
I think it's best if we spread them out.
Yeah, I think so as well. So we can play this one another day later on. I did get 2 Mr. Mime, so I was considering it as well.
I got none.
You got none. Ah, that's a shame. Yeah, because Mr. Mime obviously would have been decent. I don't think it would have been that good against what you played, though. Like, even the Jinx is not a guaranteed thing, because if Double Slap only flips 1 heads, it still does 20, right? Thanks to weakness. So,
yeah.
I don't know if it would have been that good here, and I don't really have a good Psychic Core otherwise to play it. Like, no, that's not quite true. I've got the Jinx and I've got the Mewtwo, but... given how much psychic resistance there is in this format, didn't really feel like it was worth.
Normal psychic just seems like a good core at the minute.
Yeah. Kangaskhan I got 1 of. I think I did play it in the end, I just never saw it. Which is a shame.
I ended up with 3 Kangaskhan.
Oh, that's pretty good too. That would have solved some of your worries of not drawing stuff.
It's just, it is what it is. Sometimes you just don't get the cards that you need.
Yep. Evolution-wise, I got like 2 Jolteon, 3 Flareon, and at least a couple of Vaporeon. I forget, that's at the top, isn't it? Vaporeon, I got 2. Yeah, so I had enough Evolution stuff. That was another deck I considered.
I got 4 Flareon.
Nice. Yeah, I was considering like Jolteon with a Tech Flareon to like quick attack.
And 4 Jolteon.
Nice.
Let's see the Vaporeon. Let's see what we're rocking with here. 1.
Ah, well. Vaporeon's like the worst one probably anyway, so...
Which is a shame because it's such a pretty card.
It is. And it's not awful, it's just... It is flat damage, which is in some ways better than the other ones, but it's just the typing isn't quite as good, right? Because it gets hit for weakness by lightning. And Electabuzz is like 2nd best card of the thing? Yeah, I mean, arguably it's the best card still. So, you know, yeah, it's tough. It's tough life being a water type that's weak to electric right now.
It's tough being anything weak to electric.
Yep, which is why I didn't even consider Dodrio this round. But yeah, no, it's the... Otherwise, it's fine. It's just like, I got all the Executor I would have wanted as well. I did have a deck built for that I could have played, but didn't actually want to build that one this time around.
I feel like Big Explosion can be hampered very much by the removal that we have currently.
Yeah. That's one of the big things for it. Like, I also, if I had Venusaur, like, Venusaur Executor is quite a cool deck build because you can use Pokemon Center to heal up. It's unlikely that 80 HP Egg or 100 HP Venusaur is going to get one shot, right? So,
yeah.
The fire types are good, but they are very expensive to hit that level. So, even against a Rapidash, you're not going to get one shot. So, like, being able to transfer as many energy as you may or may not need, and also just preserve them, right? Because you could choose to only flip like 3 coins maybe if you don't need more than 20, maybe 40 damage or whatever. So you can choose to like not go all in, which is really good. But I didn't get Venusaur, so I can't play that. Yeah, that's about it really. It's just only one Scyther is unfortunate, considering how good it is. But again, this depends on if we're going to play base 2 when that comes up. Like, it's 2 sets time, right? Literally, because we play Fossil
like
and then yeah.
It might be a good place for us to get the additional trainers that we might have missed.
Yeah. So we might just do base 2 as well. That's just effectively repeating the first couple of sets.
Trainers are such a pain to get.
Yep.
Like, this set only had 1.
Yep, and the next set's only got about 4, and one of them is Mysterious Fossil, so...
Oh boy.
You could play Gambler, though! One of the most infamous cards ever! Hey, with our luck today, though, we would have probably drawn 8 cards almost every time, though, so, you know... Right, I am gonna go find the wheel thing, though, because I did
You'd probably end up somehow getting an Imakuni.
That would be hilarious. Alright, so, copy link. We're gonna bring the wheel up here. I say the reward wheel compared to the Yu-Gi-Oh stuff is extremely minor, but the fun thing with these sets right now is just that rare and hollow are the same thing. So both of those would be Polar Scyther at this point, which is quite good. Previously available pack I might still just take base set because of the trainer cards, right? The theme decks I'll have to go look up exactly what's in them again, but other than that, let's just spin it, see what we get. Looks like it's gonna be an uncommon, or, you know, common or uncommon, so... What would I...
that one Voltorb I missed.
Yeah, so one common or uncommon from the jungle set here, it's probably going to be Seeking, to be honest. I don't think there's really anything else I even missed in that rarity, in those rarity slots. So obviously not in the common, I should have more than enough of those. I guess I should sort by quantity actually if we're going to do this. Just to make sure there's nothing really stupid that I didn't get a ton of. Like Nidorina, I think I did get a couple of Nidoqueen, but I don't really... I have like one Nidoking, but there's not really much point trying to play a Nido thing. It's also weak to Psychic, so, you know, that would have been a bit of a stupid one. So, let's see, yeah, Seeking I only got the 2 of. Looks like we're sticking with just the one Scyther. How many did you actually pull in the end?
For me, Scyther, I think I got 2.
Okay, so actually not that many either at the moment. Considering...
I also got 2 Pinsir.
Yeah, how many...
I was tempted, but I would have to change a lot of energy for that.
Yeah, I almost played it, because I'm obviously playing heavy grass in the deck I played. I got 1 regular and 2 hollows. I had 3 Pinsir in total. Yeah, I think... So looking at the uncommon stuff, the only ones I didn't get a playset of are Nidorina or Seeking. So it's going to be Seeking, because I don't need 3. I wouldn't need more than 3 Nidorina anyway when I only have like 2 Nidoqueen. Oh, not even 2, I think I might only have the 1. Do I have any hollow ones? Because they don't ding me in the same bit, huh? Nope, I only have the 1 Nidoqueen, so yeah. Seeking is the pickup. It's a decent card, it's just marred by the fact of we have Electabuzz, and we're playing Electabuzz like constantly here, so...
It's not our fault, it's a good card.
No, I mean, it's not my fault I got 4 of it too. I actually only played 3, I think, this time around. I'll go in and
I only got 2 of them.
Yeah. I'll go in and, like, get to the deck so I can screen cap it for you as well. Yeah, I only played the 3 Buzz. So it's like 3 Electabuzz, 1 Scyther, 4-3 Wigglytuff, and a 4-3 Weepinbell. I wanted to play the full 4, but I couldn't quite get it in, unfortunately. So there's the screen, the deck, the TCGOne like screen cap, because I don't use the deck builder. So
yeah.
There's the TCGOne one for you. Yeah, and then as far as your deck, as you say, the 1-1 Clefable, the 2 Buzz, 3-2 Wigglytuff, so you only pulled the 2 Tough overall then?
Yeah.
Or, yeah, okay. That's still not too bad. 2 Tauros, 2 Scyther, 3 Tauros, 2 Scyther, 3 Jinx. Neither of us ended up playing the Lickitung, which I did want to play, but I just didn't. Because I was jamming 2 evolution lines, I didn't have the space in the end. I was just going to play
I assumed neither of us got enough to make it worth.
Oh, it's worth it even at just like 1 or 2. The card is... I mean, it's better with the scoop-ups that I don't have, but the card is actually exceedingly good.
It is.
It's so hilarious, actually.
I didn't think that my team was threatened enough by Mime to... Because there's definitely cards there that I can definitely hit it with.
Yeah. Yeah, I actually didn't play any super energy removal in this deck this time around because I didn't really want to discard my own energy, right? What was I going to discard? Like a double colorless or a specific colored energy when Weepinbell needs 2, right? It needs 2 grass, so I was like, as well as needing to jam the extra Pokemon in, like, compared to your deck, what have we got? You've got, so it's 7 per row, so it's like 14. You've got 17 Pokemon, I've got 18, so I guess we're around about the same, but, even then, it's like, I have 2 very thick evolution lines in here, so I couldn't really justify trying to play the supers as well. Especially when double colorless is just so valuable for me. I wanted to keep the regular removals, because I think they're fine, they're costless, let's be real. But
when you can drop a Scyther in 1 card, it's useful.
Yeah, and I mean, if you can use energy removal on double colorless, it's kind of insane, to be honest. So, yeah, I don't think there's too much of a reason to play the super in this particular deck. In your one, it's obviously totally fine, because you've got lots of stuff with 1 energy attacks that mean something, you know. I guess this deck does too, but it's still, like, you don't need as many colored energy to do your stuff. So,
yeah.
What was the other thing?
I had 4 builds and 2 oaks, and I saw none of them in the first game, really.
Yeah, I have the same, but I do have the 2 comp search as well compared to the 1 here.
Yeah, no, it is what it is. Trainers are trainers.
Yeah.
If they're only in 1 set, you can only get them in that set.
Yep. And then the 1 Pokemon trader at the moment. I initially had a Pokeball, like 2 of them in this list because it searches for the evolutions, but then I was like, no, I can't justify that, you know. It's
yeah, it's 2 RNG.
Mm-hmm. If I didn't
at
need...
best, it's an evolution. At worst, it's dead weight.
Yeah, if I didn't put the Wigglytuff in as well, and I had just the 4-4 Weepinbell, I probably would have actually played the Pokeball, but, you know, just because it can search the Weepinbell. But the idea...
I ended up with 14 of them.
I don't even remember how many I got those in the end. Let's see, this is sorting by... it's sorted by quantity here. Let's have a look. I got 15 of them to that. Yeah, so what else was there? It's like, yeah, the synergy.
We need to do a mysterious fossil shrine.
Oh god, yeah. The synergy between like Bellsprout and Wigglytuff is really cool though. Like Bellsprout searching for more copies of itself, and then you know the Wigglytuff takes advantage of that. It's it's really neat. So
it's a solid plan.
That plus the Weepinbell being cheap as well for attacking and having good attacks. 30 for 2 is the gold standard at the moment. So you know, yeah, I initially had a deck like this that had Seeking in it as well because it's 30 for 2, right? That's what I was going for. But then I was like, nah, I'm just gonna play Electabuzz. I'd be stupid not to at least play like Buzz or maybe Hitmonchan at worst here. I don't know.
They're probably not really going anywhere from our decks into the next format. They're just
nope.
just a fact of life.
They're probably not going anywhere for a very long time. I mean, it was this was the. A lot of people have complained that that a lot of more modern formats have just been basics only and whatnot. It's been that way from the start, kiddos. There's not a lot to really say on it.
It's just so hard when you're tying in up to, let's say you've got your four basics, your 4 or 3 stage 1, and then up to 3 stage 2s. That's a lot of investment for 3 monsters.
The problem is that they make the basics as good as the evolution Pokemon.
It's so much more effort to put in to evolve your Pokemon.
Yeah, like Electabuzz hits.
It takes up so much more deck space.
Yeah, like Electabuzz is just objectively better Weeping Bell when you think about it, because it has an attack that takes 1 less colored energy, so you can play it with different types. Its first attack paralyzes, which is arguably better than the poison in most situations, and it has exactly the same HP. It can technically do more damage. I know it can self-damage, but it does potentially more damage for the same energy. It's like, what's the point? This is why, like, Wigglytuff was the only evolution that saw consistent play. Clefable did as the tech, is the way that you played it here, but the only consistent evolution line was Wigglytuff, and because it just did so much damage, right? We saw it in game 1, where I ended up getting, with a 1+ power, I got a knockout on like any Pokemon in the format, except itself, but then, you know, 2 can still hit that. 2+ power is not that hard.
The only thing that's really going to take that is Snorlax, Chansey, maybe Charizard.
Yeah.
Even them, they don't like it.
And no Pokemon in the game survives more than 2 hits off this thing, unboosted, right? 60 just hits everything. 120 HP is the cap until, like, EXs, I think, which is Ruby Sapphire. Quite a while
away. And those are 2 prizes on that?
They are 2 prizes, yes. And even then, it's only the evolution ones that go above 120 for the most part, I think, for a long time. I'm not talking the Gen 5 EXs, etc. HP started to get a bit ridiculous later on, but like for the foreseeable future, this is the gold standard that we would want. That said, that doesn't mean I'm not going to play some evolution stuff as we go, because there are some pretty good ones, even not just for utility. There are some decent ones.
It also doesn't help that the evolution cards are going to be higher tier rarity, so it's not easy for us to get actual playsets of them.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you don't even necessarily need full playsets of the stuff, but like, I got 0 Blastoise. Even if I had 2, I would have probably considered looking at it. But yeah, most of the, I mean, Pepper's putting it in as well. Most of the really good basics are also high rarity, but the difference is that you can get away with playing like 1 of them or 2 of them even, you know. You don't need 3 or 4 to make the deck work. It's better, but you don't need it. And yeah, that's where the sort of problem starts coming in. It's like even
the
with
basics stand alone.
Yep. It's like even with just the one, like I didn't end up playing the Kangaskhan because I had to cut it thanks to putting Wigglytuff in here. But like, even if I just played the one Kangaskhan, that's fine. That's enough, because you only have to search for it once, right? The one Pokemon trader or like one computer search or something just to get it on the bench, and then like a switch out for it or something, and you're gone. You're done, right? And it's got 90 HP. That's more than almost every evolution card. You know, like some of the stage 2s can get up to 100, but even most of those are like 70 to 90 HP.
And they don't heal when they evolve, right?
No, they do not.
So it's just...
So, yeah, it's tough because they just... I don't know.
Aren't worth the effort that you're putting in when you could use basic Pokemon that do their job just as well.
Because then you can cram more trainer cards in, like energy removals, etc.
Yeah.
But yeah, there are still some fun ones, even outside of that. There are still some pretty decent.
I would absolutely be wanting to run Blastoise or Venusaur if I could, but the thing is, we didn't get the cards for it yet.
Yeah, you don't even necessarily need that many of them in. Like, yeah, the really thick line of, I don't know, like 4-3-3 or something is possible, but I very often ended up just playing like a 3-2-2 or something, or 3-3-2 in the TCG game, and it generally was fine. But that also relied more on having Pokemon Trader and stuff around as well, which, yeah, don't have enough of. So...
or Breeder. If we
I maybe used one breeder if I had space for it, but it generally wasn't that important, because for the most part you're not getting KO'd on, like, gusted up and KO'd every turn with the stuff there. Some of them you are, like, you know, Squirtle's very vulnerable to Electabuzz, obviously, but it takes a decent bit of effort, especially against energy removal stuff, to constantly set up KOs against your basics, right? So
yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. That was pretty much almost a history of the format type thing off it. But yeah, it's still fine. I'm still gonna experiment with some of the other stuff as well. It is whatever. I was gonna play Rapidash, so you know, I was looking at a bunch of them, like the Rapidash, the Evolutions.
Rapidash is probably one of the better ones because it just needs a DCE really to get going.
Yeah. So like that was pretty cool. I mean, again, I would have looked at Seeking if I had, you know, more. Well, not even if I had more of them. Would have looked at it, but Weeping Bell just fit the job better for what I wanted. Also, would have potentially been an out in case you played like the Dog Trio or the Rhydon even to try and counteract the Electabuzz, right? Because again, I've got 4 of them, so kind of got to think, okay, what are you gonna try and do in response to, you know, me playing?
I was more worried about the Hitmonchans this time.
Yeah, which I didn't end up playing because I didn't.
It is what it is.
I didn't want to have a grass lining and fighting deck for this stuff because we don't have energy search until next.
Well,
next
you really
round.
could have done the mean thing that we all did in TCG, which was Hitmonchan, Electabuzz, and Scyther, and just ran 2 energies that way.
Yeah.
That was very much a deck that would just dominate TCG1.
You know, if I had more than one Cypher, I might have done it. But I also didn't want to play the same deck twice in a row. That was the other thing with it, because I did just play Hitmonchan but Electabuzz last time round. It's like, I want to at least try and change it up a bit. And I think this deck actually succeeded in that. Like, that Weeping Bell was good. It wasn't even just like there.
I was planning earlier on using Dratini if I didn't get any of the cards that I was actually looking for, but I did get some of them.
Oh, yeah, okay.
So,
yeah,
energy denial.
Dragonite Dodrio is something that could be worth considering next round. Because Dragonite's got the step-in ability, which is, for those in a slightly more modern format, is like Keldeo's Rush-In. Or I think Dawnwing's Necrozma had this ability as well, where it can switch. It forces you to switch the Dragonite in from the bench. Dragonite's only got 1 energy to retreat as its retreat cost, so 1 Dodrio is enough to give you free retreat no matter what happens. So that's cool, and it's a neat idea. It probably gets shut down by Muck if that ends up getting played, but it is a neat idea. And I mean, Muck is not like the be-all and end-all. You had good outs against it this round with the psychic hits, so
And just not really using Pokemon that had Pokebodies either.
True, because we just don't have them yet.
Yeah.
Other than Dodrio, there's very little that we actually would use
very little
on that.
are even worth running.
Mm-hmm.
Like Vileplumes we were talking about earlier just isn't very good at all.
Yeah, it's just not good enough. I think if the Oddish had Bellsprout's attack for like 1 energy to get more Oddish out, I might have been able to consider it, but it would have needed a heavy trader breeder line, and I only have like 1 of each, so because you'd be looking at something in the region of like what 4th maybe 443 or 434, something in that, depends on your breeder count, you'd be looking at jamming 10 to 12 Pokemon into the deck to make that work. And then what are you actually hitting with? Just so you could maybe heal. It's on the coin toss. Yeah. I mean,
you
granted,
could be running Alakazam and Scoop Up instead.
Mm-hmm.
Have guaranteed.
There are some very fun ideas that I have for the next set, though. I'm to see whether it actually works out. I might play some very out there next round. We'll see. It's probably still going to end up. It's probably still going to end up having some of the basic core, because of course it is. That's the main way stuff works. But I do have a couple of really fun ideas to think on. So
things will also get better once we start getting the other variants Pokemon.
Yeah. Like Team Rocket is one I'm very interested in, although also extremely scared for, because there's a lot of control tools in that set.
Have we decided what we're doing with Sneasel yet?
I don't think we have. I mean, so in some sets, I'm kind of okay with like banning Sneasel Slowking, and like saying, okay, if you open those, you could take something else out of the set instead.
Just
let's set the same rarity. Yeah, but the only problem I have with that is that just defaults to, I guess I'm taking Cleffa then in case of Sneasel, because it's a rare, right? And I don't think we want like 4 Cleffa in every deck.
Well, I don't know enough about that to know what I'd want, not want.
Yeah, we'll talk about that when we get there. Let's just say baby Pokemon are a pain in the freaking ass, but we'll get
Wonderful.
there. We will get there. Yeah, I mean,
that
the old...
also work?
Yeah. So, for those on YouTube, Pepper's just suggested allow trading for the special energy. If you end up getting Sneasel or Slowking, then swap it for one of the special energy instead.
Yeah.
That's possible. Because my alternative would have been, okay, we'd do the same thing for the energy, right? And if we pulled an energy, then we could swap it out. But the energy does come back in several sets, right? So that would have to be a very long-term thing.
And the energy isn't as broken as the users of the energy.
It's not. It's just frustrating in some ways because, it does kind of energy gate some of this stuff. But, it does come back in several sets, even if it is always at, like, rare or whatnot. Maybe we'll add something to the wheel at that point to be able to take a special energy or something. I don't know. That could also be a way around it, because I think Rainbow is going to be the same thing. That's a rare / holo in Team Rocket, and that's the other way of using Metal Dark Pokemon. So, but yeah, we'll talk. But I quite like that as an idea actually, because even though it would be kind of funny to showcase Sneasel in a way, it's like heck that can't. Go look up Mahone's channel, Tricky Jib, if you want to see Sneasel being played, because he has some base Neo stuff on there, so...
I had to explain to my friend about how Slowking actually worked, and yeah, it's an experience.
Yeah, I mean, it's supposed to be in the active, this is the only time it works, but that's not the way that it was written, so... Mistranslations happen, and
because it's Wizards, they don't care about quality control, so...
And this is all with Chaos Gym from the previous set too, which is not quite the same thing, but instead of it going to the top of the deck, the opponent gets to use the card if you don't flip right, which is ridiculous, but...
Yeah, that's arguably worse.
Yeah, except it's a stadium and there can only be one in play at a time, and it doesn't stop other stadiums from being played. So it's a fucking strong control tool, don't get me wrong, but it also isn't quite as uncounterable as an ability on the other side, right?
An ability that you can have multiple Pokemon of on the field at the same time.
Yeah. And you
have to do it for each one of them.
Yup. Alright. Anyway, I mean, we've been probably talking longer than we've actually played the game at this point, so...
Oh, sorry.
It's fine, it's great. It's just, it's almost one of those of we may as well have done the next one too, just to get out. But nah, we're fine. I could probably do again some dinner anyway. But yeah, this is fun though.
Again, the only thing is I have things on Thursday and Friday, so we can figure that out whenever we need to figure it out.
Sure. But like, even at that, we could, I mean, depending on days and stuff, we might even be able to play it like Wednesday or something if stuff works out. We don't have to obviously, but
yeah,
if you want to play a second time this week just to get the other next
if I have the
small
free
set
time,
out.
you know, yeah, I've already explained what's happening right now, so we'll see what needs to happen with that, and then figure it out.
So yeah, just let me know, and
no worries.
yeah, GG's again. That was an experience to say the least.
Yeah.
That second game was kind of dumb, but at least we played the third one. So
It happens.
it does. So at least we played the third one, and you got to showcase what your deck can do. So
yeah,
that's the main thing. All right. Well, I think that'll do. So till next time, everyone. What do they say nowadays in Pokemon? It's not gotta catch them all anymore. It's like train on, isn't it? There's something stupid like that.
I would not know. I haven't watched the anime since Pokemon.
Oh, it's not even just the anime. It's the general slogan thing at this point because there's. I mean, it's kind of hilarious.
There's almost 900. If
yeah,
not 900.
yeah, and it's not as if you can catch them all at the moment. Thank you, Janet. But you know, yeah. Whatever, it doesn't matter.
You just can't have them all in the relevant generation.
Oh no, but you can. You just can't take them all to the relevant generation. You can put them all in Pokemon Home, and technically they're in Gen 8. Oh, because you can't put them back.
Well, maybe Legends will fix this.
We'll see. Anyway, thank you guys for watching, and until next time, take care, everyone.